Hello, my name is Mighty and welcome to my channel. Yes, I'm still alone here. So, I'm going to talk to you about Umsamo, ancestral shrine or altar, where we go to communicate with our ancestors. Anyway, so why do we actually do this? I'm going to talk to you, tell you about how I do it myself. Um, when I okay, cancel. Tobela, welcome. Umsamo, ancestral shrine. Where do we go to communicate with our ancestors? I'm going to give you an example of my own shrine or altar, Umsamo, where I communicate with my ancestors. So when I first before I became a healer, I used to just communicate with them using Nzu because that's what. Okay, you know that. All right. So I used to use Nzu to communicate with my ancestors, and at home they use traditional beer to communicate with them outside. So there's a plant that they put outside for everyone, so we come and communicate with our ancestors. But since I became a healer, I do it differently. I've got my shrine, so I can show you here. This is where I communicate with my ancestors. There, if you can see that. Anyway, so how did I set this up? How did I get to do it like that? My ancestors, they've never asked me to do that. To put the candles, to use the incenses, to put water when I communicate with them. In the practice, in my practice room, in my surgery, they've never asked me to do that. Before I set this room to make it what it is now, I'll show you after. I'll show you how it looks like. The only thing they've ever shown to me was the color of the wall. They showed it to me in the dream that they would prefer green and yellow for my practice room, where I'm going to be communicating with them, where I'm going to be bringing people in this room. That is the only thing they've ever asked of me. Okay? So I'm answering this question. Can you communicate with them anywhere or everywhere? For me, I can communicate with my ancestors anywhere in the house. It doesn't matter. I can communicate most of the time. I communicate with them in my bedroom or just anywhere in the house, because I believe it's just about me, what I intend to do. And if I feel that I can communicate with them anytime, I'll just do it respectively. It doesn't really matter. So my ancestors, the only things that they ask of me to do was that if I'm talking to them, I have to wear the let me show it to you. This is the dress. That is what my ancestors will want me to wear when I'm communicating with them. And for the Mandawo spirit as well, they want me to wear their cloth. For the Abalozi, they want me to wear their beads, the red and white beads. These green and white beads are for my ancestors. For the Mandawo, it's just their cloth. That's all they ask of me to do when I'm communicating with them, when I'm calling them out to come to me. So how do we know what we're supposed to be doing with this? So when I first started, guys, like I said, at home, they used to do it, they still do it within two, like the tobacco that they use, the traditional one that we use, and the traditional beer. So when I came to UK, I brought some Nzu with me. But when I was trying to communicate with my ancestors, they asked me if, the first question they did ask me was that, who asked you to use Nzu? So you see, so most of the time our ancestors will tell us what they want us to do. what they want us to use for Umsamo. So they will show it to you in the dreams if they want you to use something, or they will tell you if they're talking to you. They will tell you what they prefer. But mine, they do not prefer candles, they do not prefer water, they do not prefer incenses. The only thing that they ask of me is to wear their clothes and their beads. That is the only thing they ask of me, nothing else. And for my Umsam as well, I just put, let me just show you guys so you have an idea. So this is my practice room, right? This is it. This is it. So I just decorate it with the things that I collect and I like. Everything, those are the candles there. I just do that there. So this is my room, you see? So there is actually nothing that my people want from me apart from to be in a good state of mind to talk to them. That's the only thing they ask of me. Nothing else. That is for my Umsam, right? So if I'm going somewhere else, if I'm gonna be in a different place, and that all I just have to do is make sure that I let them know that I'm going to be somewhere and I'm gonna be staying there for a long time. So I prefer they come with me to be there with me. And I have to do the rituals that they ask me to do, like the water ritual. If you've seen my video on how to communicate with ancestors, I've put it there. So that's the only thing they ask of me. So if someone comes to me now, let's say someone comes to me for the first time and they're asking me, what can we use? I always say to people that you need to let your ancestors guide you on what they prefer you to use for your Umsam. Do you understand? So you use whatever it is that you can use. If you're using candle for your place, you use your candle. Whatever you do it, just make sure that it is something that, if you make it a ritual, like, that I'll put everything in that particular area, that will be for the place where I communicate with my ancestors. When you get there, that is you're gonna zone out. You're gonna zone out or zone in to communicate with them. Do you understand? So that is what I'll advise anyone. So anyway, let me answer this question properly. Is there something you must do at your home to make sure that they can actually hear you? So ancestors can hear you whether you communicate with them anywhere in the house, as long as whatever you do, we do it with good intentions and with a good heart. So it really doesn't matter. Like for me, I use this room to communicate with them when I have clients. I'll bring them in this room and I'll communicate with them there. But if I'm on my own, I don't need to be coming here. I can come here just because I want to come in here to communicate with them, because that is the preferred place that I'll prefer and to talk to them all the time. So I know when I go in there, I do light the candles just for my own, to satisfy my own, just to feel like there is a different atmosphere anyway for me, not because they've asked me to do that. So if I'm doing it in the bedroom as well, I'll communicate with them in the bedroom. Where I'm sleeping, it really doesn't matter. If I'm sitting in the lounge, I'm sitting on the sofa, I'll communicate with them there. But there are different places, there are different things that our ancestors ask us. So if it is a family umsamo, like family shrine, where everyone can come, sometimes your ancestors will tell you that they prefer everyone else, like if it's your grandmother or your grandfather, they prefer all their children or all their grandchildren to come and communicate with them in a particular space in the family, in the house, in the yard, or whatever, outside or inside. They'll prefer it to be at this particular spot because that is what they prefer. Do you understand? So all these things, guys, it really depends on you and how you communicate with your ancestors and how you feel about the space that you want to create for you and your own ancestors, so you can communicate freely with them, So that is just that. And there's another question as well. Okay. How do you Phahla? Okay. Phahling, you do it the way you do it. I always say you just communicate, it's just communicate the way you feel comfortable yourself. You'll just do it anyhow. Just talk to them. For me, I do this. So this put me, it just put my mind at ease. I know when I'm doing this, I'm calling them. So even then, when I'm doing this, they know that this person is calling us. So I communicate with them like that. And I've had your call, okay. I've had you call on your partner ancestry first, but what if you don't know them? Anyway, so when you don't know who your ancestors are, guys, you call everyone. You call everyone. You call everyone. All my ancestors, all my ancestors, that's how you call them. Everyone should come in. You understand? Anyone who's available and can communicate, can come freely to you, they will come to you. So it really doesn't matter. If maybe sometimes like people who are coming from some families, they haven't done the things, ask for when you were still a child, they've done the things that they're supposed to have done, the rituals that we do, like, African rituals, like when someone is pregnant, they go and introduce, they go and let people know and stuff like that, so you are known to the ancestors. If you don't know that, just call everyone. Just call everyone. Just call everyone. When appeasing, is there a right? Okay, and also aren't familiar with your clan names, okay? And if you don't know your clan names, guys, ancestors, when they come to you, they will introduce themselves. They will introduce themselves and they will teach you about your roots. They will tell you everything about all the information that you need. Your ancestors will give them to you freely once you communicate with them. They will do that. And if they can't, because sometimes they rather prefer that they send you to people because they want their families to stay together. So they will keep on sending you to people so that you keep on communicating with the family members. You get to know other family members that you didn't even know that they exist. So ancestors, they do that for a reason, okay? Because they want to make sure that their family stays together and strong. So they will direct you to your family members, even the ones you didn't know about. I'll answer your questions, guys. Let me just answer this one. When appeasing, is there a right and wrong way to do it? Does one have to slaughter animals? Okay, so like I said, I'm going to give you an example with me, right? When my ancestors came to me for the first time, what used to happen is that they used to come to me at all irregular times, right? They'll be just all the time. In the morning, at night, they'll be getting different people. I'm talking about different ancestors, introducing themselves to me, those who were giving me gifts and all those kind of things. So I didn't even know that I could just tell them, like, look, I'm tired as well, because it takes a lot of your energy, especially when they're talking to you, when you can hear, like sometimes you can hear them, in their voice, but that time it was more of like it was like auditory, like like when you can hear people, like the way you're listening to me, when it's different people with different energies, it can be too exhausting for you. So I didn't know whether to tell them to, like I was too tired about this, because I wanted to make sure that I wanted to please them in a way. So, but then it got to a stage where I couldn't do it because I had small children as well. I had to take to school in the mornings and stuff like that. At night, I wasn't sleeping very well because they're coming at all times. Do you understand? So then I had to decide that, you know what, I can't do it like this. So I had to go and complain, to them. So it got to a stage where, there was an agreement that we'll do it this way. We'll talk to you. We'll try and come to you, at this particular time. Well, they didn't say time, but they said we'll come to reduce the amount of time we come to you, and we won't just come to you like the way we're coming. So we'll come to you in order now. You understand? But not day and night like the way they were doing it. So, that is the way I can answer that one. I didn't know whether it was right or wrong at the time, but I end up expressing myself. So you have to express yourself to your ancestors so they understand where you're lacking, where they can meet you halfway. Do you understand? So that's how you do it. And as for slaughtering animals as well, guys, remember, ancestors work in different ways. I'm explaining to you about how my ancestors work with me. The way I work with them is totally different. I've never slaughtered any animal with my ancestors or the Mandawi spirits or any other spirits. I've never done that. But I was meant to slaughter a goat for my ancestors. That is my ancestors. When I'm talking about my ancestors, I'm talking about my paternal um, ancestors who were giving me the divination bones gifts. So I was meant to slaughter a goat for the divination bones, but I didn't. So I probably will be doing it, but I've never slaughtered any animals. I have never done that. So I don't know how it's going to work because the Mandawi spirits, for me, these are the kind of things they don't like. So I don't know how it's going to work. So, and I can't say that you can compromise or you can't. I don't know. I haven't been I haven't got to the stage where there's a compromise of some sort when it is related to things like this, because remember, ancestors, they're asking you to do certain things for a reason. They wouldn't just ask you to do things for no reason. There's a reason behind everything that they're asking you to do. So even slaughtering these animals, there's a reason why they ask you to do it, okay? But only when, I wouldn't do it if someone was telling me that I need to do it, no. But if it's my ancestors telling me that I need to do it, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll go running to do it. Do you understand? As long as all of them, they are happy with me doing it, okay? I'm strongly against animal cruelty, especially slaughtering. So talk to your people, talk to your ancestors. They understand. I mean, I can tell you that from where I am, the way I'm working, I think a lot of things I get away with because of my situation. So, it's a bit of compromise. My ancestors are compromising on certain things, and I'm compromising on certain things depending on what is happening around me. So it's just about how you communicate with your ancestors. Talk to them, talk to them. I mean, talk to them. Talk to them. Look, if it was to do with my ancestors, I wouldn't be here, because my work is, they already told me where I'm supposed to be working and where I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be in UK working and staying here. Do you understand? But it's a matter of you talking to your ancestors and making them understand certain situations. Do you understand? So you talk to them. They'll understand. These people, they understand, and they are willing to work with us if you're willing to work with them freely and respectively. Okay, that's another one. I've been shown beads in my dreams, and is there a right time to wear them, and is there a process, especially as a self-initiator? Okay, so with beads, guys, your ancestors, when they're showing you beads and they don't show you where to wear them, you can wear them anyway. That is what I'll advise anyone. Mine, they've never shown me where to wear them. They just showed me the beads. I just wear them anyhow I like, until they show it to me in the dream that they want me to wear it like this. I'll just do it exactly as I want it. Sometimes I don't even wear it. I just let it hang around when I'm communicating with them. So it really depends on you. Guys, remember, this journey is between you and your ancestors. So all this, especially when you're self-initiating, when you're talking to ancestors and they're initiating you. So you should always listen to what they're saying. You should never listen to anyone else. I'm saying never listen to anyone else apart from your ancestors. If your ancestors haven't said it, you should, well, I wouldn't do it. Like me, they initiated me. Anything they don't say, I wouldn't do. I do it because I want to do it, not because someone else said I should do it. So when you're self-initiating, you should always remember that it's you and your ancestors. If your ancestors haven't shown you something, then why are you doing something they haven't shown it to you? Unless if you feel that it is necessary for you, from your heart, that you want to do it. Okay. So that's just that. So let's see what the question, what you guys are saying there. I need to go on the YouTube thing so I don't go here. How do I go there? So it's about you and your ancestors, guys. So, it depends how you communicate with your people. So if they haven't said something to you, you shouldn't do something that they haven't asked you to do. Oh, okay. So that's me just logged on there so I can see your questions. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Okay, Tabuho. Tobela, o tlhagile toro e nngwe ngaka ke rapeletše fase kgauswi le metsi. All right, let's see. Bjatše ka fa metseng go na le kwene bjatše ga ke sa rapela gaufi le metsi, so a o nyare letsoga la gapela ka fa metseng. Tabo, I don't understand your question, the last bit properly, especially the bit where you said bjale ga ke sa rapela gaufi le metsi a o nyarela letsoga le gapela ka fa metsing. Okay, sometimes I can lose the meaning. I can, especially when you're speaking deep Sepedi there. Guys, I am Mohananwa, so it's amazing. Okay. Tabu, I don't understand your question properly. I'll come back to it. I don't understand it properly. Bear with me. I need to, because, I'll tell you the problem that I'm experiencing here. It's getting in and out, Sepedi, English, Sepedi, English. I've got that problem. So I'll come back to it. Just bear with me. Motwarish. Okay. And which sign shows that your ancestors are around you? Well, there are many signs that can show your ancestors are around you. You should be able to feel it. There are too many signs. Ancestors, they use different things, tactics to be around you. I'm telling you. Sometimes you can even hear songs being played in your ears. You can see, a lot of people see light flashing. I mean, I used to see things like that. You can see, you can feel like what they call it, the air around, there are changes on your body. You feel like there's something that is unfamiliar around you. You can feel it, but sometimes you don't, especially when depending on how your energy works as well. So it's different for different people, okay? But you'll know they're always around us, guys. It's just about us, if our senses are heightened enough for us to be able to sense them, okay? They are always around. They are with us all the time. These ancestors, they're part of us. They're in our DNA, you understand? So they're here. Even me talking to you, they're here with me. Even you being there, they're with you. Like, listen, watching this, they're with you. So they're with us all the time. We just need to be able to sense them. By that time, when we get to the stage where we can hear properly, we are balanced properly. We can see things, our third eyes open, our intuitions start become too, it grows, the time when everything, you can sense things, you understand, around you. So they're there with you all the time. They're around us. Signs are everywhere. Even birds, you can see birds outside. Sometimes even birds can poop all over you. You know that they're there. It's your people. Kamagu me. Gogo, do you know why I could be stopped from getting consultations? I've tried 4 times and something always goes wrong. Okay, me. When you do consultation, please talk to your people. I mean, I see a lot of people trying with me to just come to consult with me without talking to their ancestors. It's the biggest mistake you can do as an individual, coming to someone like that. You need to talk to your ancestors and let them know that you want to go to someone. You want them to lead you, to guide you, to make sure that that person is right for you. Do you understand? So if you don't do that, you always go to wrong people. Because remember as well, we are all hungry. Even me, I'm hungry. So if someone is not using, is not taking time to listen to their people, if I need to get food, I'll say I can help you even if I can't. Do you understand? So we need to talk to our people so that they can show us when someone is not right for us. They can just stop you from making that mistake. Make sure that you do that. Please communicate with your people first. Let them know you want to see someone. Let them know, let them look into that someone. That is very important so that we don't make mistakes. We don't waste money as well. Okay. And sometimes they do not want you to go around people. Your ancestors do not want you to go around people because they want to work with you. They do not want, when I'm saying they do not want you to go around people, I mean it, guys. Some ancestors, they really hate it. They hate it. They hate it. They hate it for you to go to someone else to tell you about them when they can do it themselves. They will hate it. Tobela Kuku, Tobela Jimen. Why is it important for the marriage of one's parents to be recognized, traditional for ancestors to be able to work together? Guys, remember, ancestors, they do not want to invade into other people's spaces, right? They do not want to invade into other people's spaces. So when you get married and you don't do the right things, it's just a matter of getting the relationships between the families, Remember, ancestors are about making sure that the family stays together, right? When you're leaving that family, you're going to another family. You're letting them know that you're not just going anywhere. You're going to that family that they need to look into so they can see that is a good family as well. Then they get together. So when you've got problem with your husband there, or you've got problems there with your children, both set of ancestors can work together properly. But if there are no formal introductions, then it becomes a problem for ancestors to try and guide someone. If, like for me, if I just got married to my husband, my ancestors wouldn't come to me because they will feel that they're invading my husband's families. They're invading that. There is a sign of disrespect. Do you understand? A sign of disrespect to the other family that your child is married into. So if there is a formal introduction, they do the right things, then it becomes easy for both families. So they can work together. When you have problems, they're all set of ancestors are dealing with it together. There's no conflicts or anything. Like the other ones will be saying, oh, you still haven't done the right thing, stuff like that, and they're holding back. So all of them, they can work together as one. Thokozani mkhulu ngobeni. Okay, that hand dragged me inside the water. The water was strongly shining, so I want to know what it means, the dream. Okay, Tabo, now I get it. So in the dream, remember water dreams, most of the time, they are water spirits, right? Water spirits. And they are showing you what they will want. They want you to come and join them. They want you to come and join them. So they'll use any other way to show you that they want you to come and join them. So it could be that I can't interpret this because I was warned that I should not interpret without, So it could be that your people are saying that they want you, they want you to be part of them. They want you to join in so that they can guide you, the water spirits, because it is water spirits anyway. So it could be that. So how did you feel when they were dragging you into the water? You understand? In the dream. Because remember, you should be comfortable with water spirits, or your ancestors should be comfortable with them. If you didn't feel comfortable in the dream, you need to ask yourself why you're not feeling comfortable. You understand? When you are in your waking state, why are you not comfortable? Is there something that you're still worried about, that you won't be comfortable being introduced to the water spirits? Do you understand? So I think that is just that. Yeah, so that is is just that, guys. So Umsamo is about you and your ancestors, and you can do it anyway. But when you're working with people, like you're working as a healer, if you can find a designated space that you can use all the time, so that, and you can have a good atmosphere when you're going to talk with your people, you do it the way that you prefer, as guided by your ancestors, you will do it. So it is just between you and the ancestors. You do what is right, what you feel is right for you, respecting yourself and your ancestors as well. And the place as well should be kept, should be kept clean, because if you want the place where you communicate with your people to be clean, isn't it? What you show outside, it says something about what it is inside, isn't it? So the place where you communicate with your people freely, where you express yourself, should be a place where you kind of feel relaxed and you feel that, there's not too much dirt around and stuff like that. Is your comfortable space. So make it good that when you go there, then you feel good as well. Do you understand? Because sometimes when you see dirt, the first reaction is you start, your body as well. It doesn't take it as you're supposed to. But if you go to a clean place, you feel it as well. When you go there, you feel, when I'm saying clean, I mean clean the way you feel that is clean for yourself. Do you understand? And as for whatever you use in your Umsamo, you use whatever you feel you're comfortable with. For me, I'm telling you, that's what I use, what I'm comfortable with. And I speak with my ancestors anyhow. I just do it respectively, because that I have to be respectful when I'm communicating with them. So, you create Umsamo wherever you go. Wherever you go, even if it's temporary place, you create a space where you feel comfortable, that you can communicate with them. You don't have to find like big things, all those big things. I decorate it with different things, because I'm like that. I like decorating, doing this and doing that. My ancestors, they don't care about that. You understand? They just are happy for me to be able to go and talk to them. You understand? In a safe place, in a safe space, in a good space for me and them. And it doesn't matter whether I'm doing it facing north, facing south, facing east or west. With my ancestors, guys, they do not care about those things. It's unnecessary. For me and them, they just want me to listen, to have a clear mind, to talk to them. That's all they expect of me, to have a clear mind so I can communicate with them. All my ancestors, all they ask of me is that I have a clear mind. I can communicate with them. Just even being outside in the garden standing, I can communicate with them, because it is my clear mind that they want. They want me to be able to hear them, and for me to be able to hear them as well. That's all they ask of me. I don't have to do all those things, too many things that they never ask me of. Do you understand? So you should be guided by your ancestors. Your ancestors should show you what they want you to do. And if not, then that means they don't want you to do anything. That's how I look at it. If mine haven't shown me anything, as a healer, that means I shouldn't be doing it. If they haven't shown it to me, I shouldn't be doing it. That is how I look at things. That's how I've always been working with my ancestors. If they haven't shown me anything, I don't do it. If they haven't shown me that I have to use something to call them, I shouldn't do it. I do it based on how I want to do it. You understand? So that's how I work with them. So that's just that, guys. Unless if you've got any more questions, let's see. Okay. Right. So when they say you owe to water, what does it mean? One who says you ought to water, one who says you ought to water. Guys, remember that we need to listen to our own ancestors, not what other people are saying to us, especially if we are soon to be healers and we are healers. If you're not with Gobela, you're still waiting on your ancestors. Everything should be coming from your ancestors. If it's not coming from your ancestors, guys, then you're going to have a problem. Because what is happening with you is that you're letting other people's ancestors take over from what your ancestors are supposed to be doing with you. So we need to always be careful who we listen to. So when it's matters of ancestral things, guys, remember these people are trying to take us back to our roots. So if you listen to everyone telling you what to do, what not to do, then you've got a problem now that you're going to be confusing yourself and confusing your people. So it's about us, our roots. So we need to get back what we're supposed to be. Do you understand? From our main source, from our ancestors. Do you understand? If it's not our ancestors, if they're not forthcoming with information, we get it from home, from the family members who have been there, who have done it. So they've known, they've got all the history, they've got all the information. Your family history is in there, is with them. And they will show, it will show as well how you communicate with your ancestors, not what other people from outside are communicating with their ancestors. Then you start doing that. Do you understand? You don't have to do that. This is what I found could be a problem. I use candles, guys, just for fun, to use them when I'm communicating with my ancestors. They've never asked me for that. I use incense just for fun, for the atmosphere. For me, my ancestors have never asked me for that. I use water. My ancestors have never asked me for that. I use those because for me, I know they benefit me mentally. It's like it's all me when I'm doing that. It's a ritual for me when I'm doing that, the process of lighting the candle and making it, I call it myself, I'm doing that. It's not my ancestors who said that. I've used the water because that process of putting water, it reminds me of the Mandawe. It's like I'm from inside, I'm communicating with them saying that, look, you know, I need you to purify me as I'm doing this, when I'm getting water for me to be talking to them. When I'm doing the incenses as well, it's just me, just making sure it's in my mind. I'm telling myself that I want the whole atmosphere, the smell of this incense too. It doesn't mean that it's going to be reaching my ancestor. I'm going to be reaching my ancestor faster. No, my ancestors can be reached anywhere, anytime, without any extra help. That is how they communicate. So remember, guys, Umsamo, it is what you do it based on, depending on how your family are doing it, you'll do it the way your family are doing it. If you're doing it personally, you'll do it the way you feel comfortable to do it personally, guided by your ancestors, guided by your ancestors. Okay, this is just that. Okay, how are we connected to chakras? Okay, chakras, I'll do a video on the chakras. Chakras is a big thing, because as well with the connections, guys, how your ancestors communicate with you. Sometimes, you know, we talk about, we forget dreams and we're thinking, oh, should I eat this? Should I do this? Am I stressed or am I not stressed? Do you understand? It might not be related to things that are happening physically to us or things that we are consuming. You know, it's nothing to do with that. It's to do with the energetic body, the chakras. But I'll talk about it properly on its own, because the chakra is a big one. I'll talk about the chakras on their own. So probably maybe the next one I'll talk about chakras, because you guys have been talking about you forgetting your dreams and you can't recall them, things like that. So the next one I'll talk about chakras. Okay? And I'll explain chakras properly yeah, I'll make it a topic on its own, because it's a big one, chakras. Because as healers, our chakras have to be balanced to be able to heal these people anyway. You understand? You should be, they should be working properly for you to be able to talk to them. Like when I'm saying talk to them, I'm talking about where you hear them. You can talk to them. They can bring, you know, they can send you messages as well, things like that, the visions and all those things. They have to be working properly. But I'll have a video where I just focus on that. So Ndivu, I hope that you understand. I'll talk about this in the next session, okay? So that's just that, guys. So I think that was it for the night. There was not much to talk about with the Umsamo, unless if someone has a question related to Umsamo, the altar, there's not much that I can talk to you about. I think a lot of things I'll do these live sessions, guys, to answer your questions and where we can communicate like this. All right. So how would see? Well. All right. Okay. All right, guys. I'll just answer this and I'll go. All right. My ears ring so loud all day since I got back from Pekleni. I just feel stuck, Coco. That's why I keep trying to get a consultation. Things are not moving, and I feel like I'm in a war because I'm fighting in my dreams all the time. Okay. I'll answer Mkhulu Ngobeni. Okay, Mkhulu Ngobeni. I'll do the video with the ears because I've noticed now with the ears as well, there are too many people coming with the ringing of the ear ringing. For me first, the ear ringing was related to Baboni, but now I've realized that it's not only Baboni who are using the ringing, okay? So I'll come back with you with that because I'm still, at the moment, I'm still training with the Abalozi. So I can't come back and talk about the ear ringing more. I'm waiting to hear from them to see how my process, how my progress is with them, so I can come and talk about the ear ringing. Because what I've noticed is that I see a lot of ear ringing with people with Abalozi, okay? But I do not want, I've been warned not to talk about things I don't know yet properly. So I'm still learning about Abalozi. So I'll come back and talk about that when I hear the message from them, directly from them, and they confirm what I'm thinking, okay? So I'll come and talk about the ear ringing, the ear ringing, okay? May, I just feel stuck, okay? Things are not moving, and I feel like I'm at war. Okay. Okay. So, all right. Okay. I hear what you're saying. You need to consult. Look, consultation as well. I'll advise if you can find someone local to you that you can, local to you, right? Local to you, especially for things like this. Local to you. If you can find someone local to you that you can be able to go and see, okay? But first talk to your people as well. Talk to your people. Let them know tell them who you want to go to see or what, let them lead you anyway. So the process could be, this can go, at the right speed. Do you understand? Try and get them to lead you to the right person, not too far from you, close to you, local to you, okay? I hope you get someone who will help you with this, local to you. Guys, we should try and find people local to us. When we're dealing with ancestral things, I know that a lot of us, we don't, there's this thing about someone close might be like knows too much about you, might do something, but we should try and find people local to us when there are things of the ancestral things, because if you have to go and get that person to help you with the cleansing that your ancestors want you to do, sometimes someone too far might not be good for you. So try and find someone local to you first, okay? What could it possibly mean when I'm perfectly fine but find myself crying with a heavy heart and randomly around the same person? It has happened more than twice. Randomly around the same person. I wouldn't know this, I wouldn't answer this without talking to you more to understand more why this person is affecting you like this, why this person's energy is making you open up in this way. Do you understand? I can't explain in more details about this, because this one, it needs me to talk more to you. Because when you're around people, some energies are so good for us that we tend to Remember, energies as well can be good, can be bad energies. As healers, I said, you could be fine that maybe someone is a healer as well. You be around them, even though they're not talking to you, they're not doing anything. Because some healers, they don't need to say anything to you. You just have to be in their presence, and then you start feeling like you are healing. Do you understand? So some healers can affect you like that. So I can't answer this one based on what you've just written. It needs more in-depth information from you, Mbo. Okay. Meaning of the blue and white in JT. I'm still waiting for the Mandawe spirits to come and explain the Njeti bit. So I cannot explain the Njeti based on what I know from outside. Blue for me is protection, right? The color blue is protection for me, from my people. That's what they've said. But with the Njeti, I do not know yet. I'm waiting from the Mandawe to come and explain a lot of information, to come and give me a lot of information, okay? When they give me that information, I'll come and give it to you. I can explain about how other people have explained it I've heard other people explaining, but I can't do that when I'm working with ancestors. I no longer explain something that they didn't tell me. So I do not know what the meaning of blue and white in Njeti means. When I get information direct from the Mandawe spirits, I'll come and answer this question. So I'll answer that question, Jama, Africa. Okay, I'll answer it. I'll ask them. I'll remind them that I'm still waiting for them to explain the colors, the Njeti colors properly to me, right? For the history things. Okay, so I'll come back to you. Okay. Thokozani mkhulu ngobeni. Mpho thobela kuku. Okay, am I repeating myself? What could it possibly mean when I'm perfectly fine, but okay. Oh, this is repeating. Okay, so that was just that, guys. Yeah, I will go back, if anything you ask, guys, put any questions that you might have on the community bit of my YouTube channel, and I'll answer them like this. It's good to come and talk about one topic and focus on it and that. So I think that is just that for the night, guys, and I hope everyone have a good night. It was Friday, so I thought, why not? Let's come and Umsamo. Yeah, guys, for Friday, isn't it? So enjoy ourselves. When people are doing that, we are partying, yeah? Yeah? So that is just that. So Thokoza, Ndauwe, Makos, Ewela. We'll talk again tomorrow. All right. Okay.